In one of Dhaka's busiest neighborhoods lived a simple girl named Neela. She was only 20, a college student who led a quiet, modest life, college in the morning, tutoring in the afternoon, and reading books at night. Her face always carried a smile, but behind that smile hid a life full of struggles. Neela's father was a retired primary school teacher, and her mother was a homemaker. The family's hopes rested on Neela. One day she would get a good job and support them. Neela also had an elder sister, Mahi, brave, determined and just army captain. One afternoon, while returning home from college in a rickshaw, a police sub-inspector named Kamal stopped in front of her. He was around 40, known in the area as corrupt, arrogant, and dangerous. Kamal blocked her way and said with a sly smile, "Where are you going, Neela?" Irritated, Neela replied, "Home. I'm in a hurry." Kamal chuckled and said, "You dare talk to me like that? I'm the king of this area." Neela's heart pounded. In a trembling voice, she said, "I'm not interested in such things." Kamal's eyes turned red with rage. He threatened her if she refused. He would arrest her father in a false case. He warned her about what happens to people who argue with the police. Shaking, Neela told the rickshaw puller to move. Even after reaching home, Kamal's voice echoed in her ears. "If not today, you'll come to me someday." She only mentioned a little to her mother, who said, "Don't confront the police. Maybe things will calm down." But Neela knew people like Kamal never stop. Even in college, she feared when Kamal might show up again. For days, she walked instead of taking a rickshaw, but that didn't help. Kamal often appeared on the streets. One day, standing in front of the college gate, he sneered, "Why do you run away when you see me? I could treat you like a princess. Just spend one night with me and you'll know who I am." Neela froze and rushed inside without a word. Kamal shouted after her, "If I can't have you, I'll destroy your family." Think who wins between a student girl and a police officer. Anger and fear burned inside Neela. She became withdrawn at home. One night, she heard a sound outside. Peeking through the window, she saw Kamal standing in the dark with a cigarette. Terrified, Neela shut the window and cried. Days passed like this, her health fading, her mind trapped in dread. By fate, her sister Mahi returned home on leave one Friday afternoon. When Neela opened the door, Mahi stood there, her posture straight, her army uniform slightly wrinkled, but her eyes full of power. Neela ran to hug her sister, feeling relief for the first time in weeks. "I'll be here for a few weeks," Mahi said cheerfully. "We'll have fun like old times." But Mahi soon realized her little sister was hiding deep fear. Mahi's arrival brightened the house. Their mother cooked special dishes. Their father smiled from the veranda. But during dinner, Mahi noticed something wrong. Neela was quiet, dark circles under her eyes, her old joyful self gone. "What's wrong?" she asked. Their mother frowned. "I'll tell you later." But Mahi pressed, "Tell me now." Neela finally broke down and whispered, "Sister S.I. Kamal keeps threatening me. He wants me to spend the night with him. If I refuse, he says he'll frame our family in false cases. I'm scared." Tears welled in their mother's eyes. Their father's hands trembled. Mahi's eyes blazed with fury. That Kamal dared to look at my sister like that, wearing a police uniform to insult women. I won't let this go. Mahi stood tall and declared, "From today, your fear ends in here." She vowed to teach Kamal a lesson the whole neighborhood would remember. That night, Mahi couldn't sleep. She thought, a police officer who swore to protect people now terrorizes them. Such men don't deserve the uniform. In the morning, Neela prepared for college, her face pale. Mahi said, "You're not going alone today. I'm coming with you." Neela worried Kamal might retaliate, but Mahi said firmly, "I'll be your shadow. You're safe." As the sisters left home, Kamal stood at a distance, eyes fixed on Neela. But when he saw Mahi beside her, he froze. Mahi walked up, resting her hand on Neela's shoulder. Kamal said mockingly, "Captain Mahi, you're the pride of this area, but control your sister. She disrespects me." People began gathering around, whispering, "Captain Mahi is here." Tono. It was just a joke misunderstanding. "Try approaching my sister again," she warned, "and you'll regret ever hearing my name." Kamal's face flushed red, his eyes filled with hate. Neela felt a bit safer, but the shadow of fear still lingered. The next day, strange rumors spread in the neighborhood. People whispered and smirked at Neela. Soon it became clear Kamal had started a slander campaign, saying Neela used his help to pass her exams. He couldn't control her, so he tried to destroy her reputation. That night, Neela broke down in front of Mahi. "Sister, how do I survive this? Everyone looks at me with suspicion. I knew that vulture wouldn't stop. But keep your head high or reveal the truth." The next day, Mahi contacted her old friends, journalists and army colleagues. She told them everything. Kamal had no idea what kind of enemy he had made. He thought fear and lies could crush Neela. Boo now. A soldier was standing against him. That evening, while Neela was returning home from the market, Kamal appeared again. Suddenly, Mahi came from behind and kicked him hard in the neck. Kamal fell to the ground. The crowd stopped, shocked. Mahi's eyes blazed like fire. "Now you'll know what disgrace feels like." She shouted. She grabbed him by the hair and dragged him through the street. Kamal screamed, "I'm a police officer. No one can touch me." But Mahi didn't stop. Punch after punch, kick after kick. The crowd began to clap. Mahi roared, "Listen, this Kamal is a filthy predator. He threatened my sister and other girls in this area. Today he'll confess his crimes." Trembling, Kamal said, "No, I didn't do anything." Mahi pressed her knee onto his chest and pointed her revolver at him. "Tell the truth or this ends here." The crowd erupted. "Punish him, punish him." Mahi pushed him to the ground and said coldly, "From today, your name will live in disgrace. I promise, men like you will never rise again." Later, the police took Kamal away, but that day became a turning pointer story of how a sister stood for her family's honor and forced a corrupt officer to confess in public. Neela hugged her sister and cried. Mahi placed a hand on her head and said, "Don't be afraid, Neela. No matter how strong evil seems, truth and justice always win." The video of that street incident spread across social media overnight. The whole nation saw an example of courage and justice. People gathered at Neela's home, apologizing. "We doubted you. You were right, you're a symbol of bravery." Tears of relief filled Neela's eyes for the first time. She felt her dignity restored. And thus, an elder sister reclaimed her younger sister's honor. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe and give a like. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and stay strong.